Hello and welcome to the June 1st edition of the BLM Fireside Chat. I'm so excited to be coming into your minds through this broadcast. I believe that today you're going to learn so much about how to effectively run a business and how to be profitable in the business that you run. Remember, last year, when we had a very lengthy series about the various areas that businesses should focus on, one of the things I had said was that it's important to be able to structure your business to succeed, structure your business to do well, right? So today, I am so excited that we're going to be talking about a very, very important subject. We're going to be talking about your business and how to manage your finances. You know, when you make money in your business, right, it's important for you to be able to know exactly what your profit margin is. It's important for you to be able to effectively and efficiently, account for every single penny, every single kobo that comes into your business in a very profitable way. That's how you grow a business. I would always tell people that if you remove £1, $1, £1, from a million, right, what you have is less than a billion, if you understand the logic. Hence, £1 is that powerful, £1 is that powerful, $1 is that powerful. And today, we have in the studio with us someone who I respect so much, love him so much. He's a remarkable human being. I have a thing for bringing remarkable human beings to the broadcast, right? So we have someone who, I believe is going to deliver a lot of value to us from the conversations we're going to be having here today. Help me welcome Mr. Olawale Odukoya. How are you, sir?
I'm very, very fine. Thank you so much for bringing me to this platform.
It is a pleasure.
It's a platform that I've been following for a couple of years now. Months thereabout.
Okay.
I've learned a lot of things from this platform.
Wow.
So thank you so much. I love the session of Jason Ditton.
The social media conversation.
It was so
Beautiful.
fantastic.
Beautiful.
Thank you for bringing me on this platform.
No, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. And we're so happy and humbled to have you on the platform.
All right.
Mr. Olawale Odukoya is a chartered accountant, right? And he's a seasoned finance professional. He's been an integral part of a company known as PhD Nigeria. PhD is a global integrated marketing communications firm, and they've been doing great work globally. He's the head of finance at PhD in Nigeria, and he's been working there for a while, and he's been extremely instrumental in managing high-profile accounts such as that of MTN, Unilever, SC Johnson, Kimberly-Clark, Penorica, and Jumia, amongst others. His achievements include saving the company millions of naira in overhead costs, improving budget accuracy by over 80%, and reducing fraud risks to near zero through stronger financial controls. Beyond numbers, his colleagues describe him as a cerebral leader. Trust me, they are spot on. I've related with him. I remember when I was doing my MBA, he was my finance tutor. He found time out of no time to do that for me, and I'm so appreciative of that. He's passionate about building strong teams, enabling smarter business decisions, and aligning financial strategies with long-term business growth. Aside from working in PhD, Mr. Wale Odukoya also runs his own consulting firm, Jimsim Consulting, where he's the managing director of that consulting firm. He's doing great work, and we are so honored to have him in the studio today.
Thank you. Thank you.
We'll just go straight into it,
All
right?
No problem.
My first question is, who is Olawale Odukoya?
Okay, I think you said much, right? I will just add one or two things to the introduction. Well, flattered. Thank you so much. Well, apart from other things that I do, I'm a person that is result-oriented. especially when I find myself doing something, I want a result, And I learned this from my mentor, saying that effort is not appreciated than the result. So since that day, I've ensured that whatever I do, there must be a good result that is coming out of it. So I'm a result-oriented person, and I like to put control in place. I think that's basically the two things I just want to put on the table with the introduction we've had. Yeah,
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Beautiful, beautiful. And of course, he's happily married to a beautiful woman, and they have 2 great kids.
Yes.
That I'm excited about. Okay, so I'll just cut through the chase.
All right.
And ask you this question. And this question is formed from something I've always heard. The fact that they would tell you that when you're starting a business, there are certain professions that you should have with you or by your side. If you can afford to hire someone to come in-house, you should have a relationship with these people. You should have a good relationship with your lawyer. And so last month, we're talking to Barrister Okiki.
Yes, I watched that too.
Remarkable
Very
episode.
remarkable.
You should watch it if you've not. Where we spoke about the important things that you should think about from a legal perspective when you're starting a business or running a business.
Yeah.
Another relationship people will always talk about is get a good accountant or a good finance person. If you don't, you might go into a mess.
Definitely.
Right? How true is this statement?
It is very, very true. It is very, very true. And I would love to start this way by saying, gone are those days when you think finance or accounting is all about counting money. It is far, far beyond that. And experience has shown a lot, right? And you see some people now, some businesses, so to say, start bringing, professional. And just like you mentioned, it's not you bringing somebody gigantic into the business. You can start with even you as the owner of the business having an understanding of what accounting is all about, right? I think it's also worthwhile to mention if you want to grow in your business or you want to start a business, it's a foundation that you cannot just joke with. Just like the Bible says, it said that when the foundation is being destroyed, what can the righteous do? And whenever I read that scripture, one thing I just add is that I think the righteous will just ask for mercy and go back to that foundation. The difficult thing is that just like a property now, you've built a property and you find out that the foundation is not well laid. It's either you bring this property down. So the issue is that the pain, the cost you have invested bringing this building up. So you need to pull it down to get the foundation right. So that is the struggle. But it's necessary to lay that foundation right. So if you are starting a business or even you are running a business already and you see that there are a lot of things happening, you need to bring a finance person in. That finance person will help you understand your business in the area of finance, right? Are we talking about recording your transaction? Are we talking about somebody that will give you a professional view of how you can manage your money, you can manage your resources? Accounting is one aspect, finance is another aspect. Accounting is all about, helping you record your transaction. Helping you record your transaction, your money, and finance is helping you to understand that you need to manage, is high time for you to expand. You can invest, you can do so many things. So you need these people in your business to guide you. I had an experience with a customer like that. So he gave me, in fact, when I asked him, please say something about your business, he said, yes, my business has been doing fantastic. Last month, I think I heard about 5 million naira, and I'm doing very, very well. And I just did a little, accounting. I said, see, yes, your revenue is showing that you have 5 million. But your profit is saying something else.
Wow.
Considering the expenses you've incurred on this business. So you are not that profitable. So these are the things that account personnel, finance person will bring to the table to help your business grow. first you need to understand your business, and you also need somebody that can help you push your business to grow.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Wow.
I think I would say that.
I mean, I'm listening to you and I'm saying, okay, I mean, somebody who had 5 million.
Yes, sir.
And I mean, to the person, 5 million
That is
is,
the money.
well, some money. And then the person realizes that
profit
his
is
or her business is not that profitable. So a lot of people engage in business, you know, and they are selling, they are buying, they are selling either services. And I think it's slightly more complex with services.
Yeah.
Right? So with services, goods or services, how are they able to effectively define their profits? I mean, it's, you know, I do not want to just say, oh, revenue minus cost. It's easy to say theoretically.
Yes.
But from a practical perspective, in your view, how do you think people can effectively or efficiently be able to delineate what is cost, what is profit?
Okay, I think I will start this way. We have different type or nature of businesses. We have sole proprietorship, partnership, joint venture, companies, private company, public company. So profitability, you know, the way this company sees profitability differs from one another. But for the purpose of this session, you know, I would just like to probably restrict it to small businesses, SMEs. For a business to be able to recognize that, okay, I'm making profit, it is very simple, right? There's something we call revenue. That is the amount you earn from the sale of services or sale of your good before you take into account expenses. All right. So, okay, for example, now, I have sold a good worth of 1 million naira. Maybe you are selling, let us be practical now, or for emphasis sake, maybe you are selling laptop. So I've sold 10 laptops for 10 million naira. That is your revenue, and that is not your profit. So your profit comes into play when you have factored in expenses you've incurred to make this sale. Expenses, maybe, of course, you have people that is helping you to run this business. You pay salary, you pay transportation, admin expenses, a lot of expenses for you to put this good on sale, all right, to your customer. Maybe you even went online to make advert for this good. Advertisement cost. These are expenses. So when you factor these expenses into your revenue, you take it out from the revenue, then you now have your profit. All right. And just like I said, just restricted to, okay, small businesses. And these are little things you can put in place to say, so because most SME wants, for example, now they said this laptop, 10 million, they start spending, I have money. You understand, I have money. Maybe because they get the laptop for 5 million, then the 5 million top, you know, the margin on top is the money. No, that's not the money. That's not the profit. You have to first of all factor in all your expenses you've incurred to sell this product. So revenue minus expenses give you your profitability. Just to put it in a very simple language. Yes.
And that your expenses would include things like your taxes and all of that.
So, and that's why I mentioned about the nature, different type of companies, right? There's a profit that comes after you now employ taxes. You've taken your taxes.
Okay.
So there are different kind of profit. We have gross profit, we have net profit, we have profit before income, interest and tax. We have profit after taxes. So what you just asked now is what profit after tax.
Okay.
So profit before tax is the same thing as your profit after you've excluded your expenses.
Okay.
So when you now exclude your taxes, now you now have profit after tax.
After tax.
Yeah.
Interesting. Now, one of the things that I always hear when I do engage business owners is, so I have an employee that I'm paying. Now I'm paying this employee, for want of a better word, 100,000 naira every month.
Okay.
Now I'm paying that employee consistently 100,000 naira every month. And then I do business this month.
Okay.
Let's stay with your laptop scenario.
Okay.
So I sell and I make 10 million, right? Now, after I make 10 million, I understand that 10 million is my revenue, not necessarily my profit.
Yes.
Okay, I have to pay this staff 100,000 naira every month. Now, this staff did not only, in fact, the staff might not have even been involved in this laptop conversation. Maybe the staff is involved in other business interests that I have. I pay the staff. Now, is the deduction of the 100,000 naira from this 10 million naira, is that part of my expenses?
Okay, I think I'll start this way. There's a principle in accounting called the principle of separate entity.
Fantastic.
All right. And what does that means? That you separate your business from your personal activities.
Okay.
Right. So from this scenario you've painted, this your help does not have a direct link to your business.
But how about if this help or this employee is doing other things in the business? So I give an example. So so maybe the person who comes, opens the door in the morning, the person who relates with customers, the person who shows customers when they come in. But this 10 million naira deal, I mean, I was the one who facilitated it.
Okay.
I went out, I met you. Okay, maybe not. I met someone and I spoke to the person. We had a conversation. The person said, "Oh, we want to buy laptops." I said, "Oh, really? I can supply you laptops." The person said, "Okay, write me an invoice." And we go through all that process. I was the one who struggled to sell. The staff was not necessarily involved.
Okay.
So, but at the end of the month, let's assume at the end of the month, all I made that month was a 10,050,000 naira.
Okay.
So, I have to still pay this staff.
Definitely.
Of course. Now, but this staff's salary is part of my revenue.
Okay. Yes, it's so I'll put it this way. Expenses rather. I'll put it this way, that since you've made it clear that this staff still has one or two things to do to help that facilitate that sale. Just take, for example, in every company there is security.
Yes.
There is people that clean the office.
Yes.
They are not into the core of the business, right? But they are supporting staff and you pay them.
Yes.
So it is required to pay. And you need to factor them in as an expense.
Okay.
So it's an administrative expenses, which must be factored as far as they contribute to the activities of the business.
Okay.
So they must be factored in.
Okay.
In fact, it will help you to have an holistic view of how the business have performed. Because without the security, without the cleaner, without, for example, the example you gave, without them, maybe even to the point of opening gates to the customer, they've rendered the service.
Okay.
So they must be factored.
And that'll be administrative.
Administrative.
So if I hear you now, so my revenue comes in, so I have my revenue, so I subtract the cost of goods.
Yes.
Right? The COGS. I subtract that. I subtract administrative costs.
Yes.
Which are all of the associated costs with delivering this services. So I subtract that.
Yes.
Then I subtract, let's say, taxes.
Yeah, definitely.
And then I subtract, if there were marketing, would that fall under administrative costs? Or
so it's not really, not only administrative, there are other expenses.
Can you tell us the kinds of categories?
Okay.
Where I'm getting at is helping business owners to be able to think about, okay, these are all of the things that can fall under my costs that I should factor in.
Okay. So I think example will go a long way. We have expenses like salaries. I have expenses like electricity.
Okay.
You pay rent.
Okay.
You have expenses like what else again? Transportation.
Okay.
Right. All these things that facilitate the sale exactly are categorized under all these expenses.
Okay.
When we talk about administrative, we try to we accountant, we put it in section. We have administrative expenses. We have We have other expenses that I can't really picture right now, right? So, but everything forms under expenses.
Exactly.
You know, yeah. An example is what I've given. We have wages and salary, which I've mentioned. We have electricity. We have fuel.
Okay.
We have what else again? Electricity bill and all these things that you paid for to facilitate the sales. They are categorized as under your expenses.
So technically, a business owner should be thinking about all of these things.
This,
You know, because what I find is that I relate with business owners, and very honestly, so when they take it, when you mention expenses, the only things they are thinking about are things like, okay, the expenses, the cost of the goods.
No,
they separate that.
It's
then
different.
They say, what else again was cost of good? And anything, they just pick one or two things and they separate that. They ignore all of these other factors.
In fact, in accounting, we classify these expenses into two. We call it direct expenses. So that cost of good is the direct expenses to the product or to the good or the service you are selling, and the other one are called indirect. Where all these expenses that we've cited, falls under.
Beautiful. Yeah. So direct and indirect expenses. Yes. You should be able to define them effectively. Then you separate. Then you know what your profit is. So at the end of the day, you can make a 10 million naira sale, and your profit is actually 500,000 naira.
Exactly. Exactly.
Oh dear. So what do you do with your profits? From a finance or accounting perspective, what should you do with your profits?
So as a person, I'm not only just an accountant. Yes. I'm a finance person. Yes. And that's where a finance expert comes in. And if you ask a finance expert, it's not about just recording transaction. It's not about just giving reports that, okay, you've performed well. You've done beyond your budget this year. You have a very fantastic bottom line. But a finance person is looking for opportunity to expand. Okay, this profit that I've earned, where can I put it to generate more income? That comes the aspect of investment. How can I expand this business? I just don't want to keep my money inside the bank. What can I do? So to your question, as a person, once I make profit, I'm looking for an opportunity to make use of that money, to create more money. For simplicity, that's how I will put it. So I look for opportunity. Even if I don't have an opportunity that I want to invest in, I have investment portfolio that I can just dump in it, where interest comes in.
And when you say investment portfolio, can you give us examples?
Yes, we have money market investments, we have capital investment, we have treasury bill, you have fixed deposit investment. So there are different kinds of investments that you can play with that can help you generate more money. So as a finance person, we don't just keep money, we try to invest so that more, we finance, we like money. So we want to generate more. So I think it's worthwhile to always look at that aspect. We have moved from just recording, which is very, very, very important. That recording of your transaction will help you to see your financial position at the end of the day, your financial performance at the end of the day. So we don't stay at that level. We want to make certain decisions on this performance, especially when you're doing well. When your reporter show that you are doing well. So what is the next thing that you want to do? So accountants tell you this is what you have done, this is your performance, but a finance expert tell you, okay, this is an opportunity for you to take with this report. You've made so certain amount of money this period or this quarter. Can you take an advantage of this investment opportunity so that you can have more money?
Interesting. So these are very good conversations, right? So, so my next question: how would you define a financially healthy business?
Okay, for me as a control person, the first thing we want to look for to define a business that is doing well, based on your question, is to first of all identify, does this business have a finance structure? that structure for me speaks a lot, right? I think even the auditors will love to see this aspect. Are there structure in place? Are there internal control in place? Are there system in place? Because finance, I personally take finance units as a powerful house, right? Where a lot of things can go on, both positive and negative. And that negative if there are no control in place. So I want to know, this business doing well, do you have a structure in place? And when I talk about structure, I'm talking about system, internal control system. What can I see about the corporate governance when I look at the finance unit? So once this is settled, then I want to know the ability of those people managing this unit, right? Finance in all companies, accounting, debit and credit is the same thing. But what makes it differ is the nature of industries. So I want to understand the ability of those person or those personnel handling that unit within that industry. What is your understanding of the nature of that industry and how are you interplaying as a finance person? So then, of course, I will look at the books, I will look at trend, I will look at the performance over the years, right? Because you can be doing well this year, right? This year can be the year that you are starting to do well. But what is your trend speaking? What are they saying before? And so many other things for me to make that informed decision that this business is doing well. I want to look at your record. I want to look at your reports. I want to look at so many things because nowadays, of course, we call it creative accounting. We have window accounting that you can just show me and say, okay, I'm doing well. So I want to dive in, and this is one of the things that, some internal auditors, even external auditors do to understand the position, the performance of the business itself. So these are the things I personally will look at.
So when you say the books and all of that, I'm putting myself in the shoes of somebody who is running a business. I mean, what I've been doing so far is I opened the bank, I registered, opened a bank account, I'm selling, and money is coming in. Now, very honestly, so after your explanation of direct and indirect expense, I'm now saying, okay, maybe I didn't categorize this well. Okay, fine. I will do something about it in the future. But the question then becomes, where do I start?
Okay.
Do I need to go and hire an accountant? I'm looking at my books and I'm saying, hey, I don't even have the money to hire one.
Okay.
A good accountant, not the one that would do creative accounting. Right? Yeah. Okay, so I'm looking at so if I'm in that state, what do I do?
Okay.
Simple things I can do.
Okay. I think first, you need a professional. And not that professional as I speak. You need somebody that can help you manage that aspect.
Okay.
Trustworthy.
Okay.
There's one thing about, and that's the second thing I want to say, that there's something about my MD, that's Dozie Okafor. He's not a finance person, but he has a good grasp, at least understanding about how finance work, the accounting. So what I would say, for a managing director that you don't have background in finance, you can pick it up just to have understanding about income and expenditure account, P&L account, balance sheets. You can interpret. So by the time your accountant is giving you report or run you through that report, you are not being bamboozled. Do you understand? So what I'm saying in essence is that, yes, you need a professional, you need an accountant to help you, a trustworthy accountant. Likewise, as a managing director, you also need to saddle yourself with that responsibility to not to go and get being chartered accountant, not to go and enroll in school to understand the nitty-gritty of accounting. At least understanding basic thing in finance. So when report is being presented, you yourself are looking at areas of opportunities. You yourself are looking at area of loopholes, right? You question the accountant itself that, excuse me, what is the issue in this aspect? So it is very, very important. You know, one of the things that some businesses also do that make their business fail is just trying to put everything holistically on the finance person. It's a very good thing. You need a finance person. I work in a company, I handle the finance unit, but you as a owner of the business, you have to have one or two understanding of finance or accounting itself. It will really go a long way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Okay. I mean, thank you so much, sir. So, I mean, from what I'm hearing you say, one critical thing you would advise is that if you want to start a business, you want to run a business, go get finance knowledge.
Yes, sir.
Or accounting knowledge, basic accounting knowledge.
Definitely.
You don't have to be an expert.
You know.
And you can get that knowledge from anywhere. Right? Don't be novice.
Exactly. Don't think about the money, right? Online.
Spend the money and learn it because it will save you.
Exactly.
Okay. I mean, beautiful, beautiful. Are there tools that people can use?
Okay. Yes, in fact, a lot of tools. In fact, presently, I think I'm working with one of my friends like that, a colleague too, that just built an app.
Okay.
But apart from that, that is not yet out actually. So let me just keep that. So we have several tools. We have Sage, we have Zoho, we have QuickBook. We have a lot of software that can help your business, right? And some are even free that you can start with if you have challenge. Really? Yes. Dummy, we call it dummy, that you can start with, you know, just for you to familiarize yourself with such software, and it's a good thing. And one thing I personally also we advise, you know, there are a lot of dashboard, you know, all this AI that can help you build a lot of dashboard, especially when you find yourself that you are just starting. Right, you don't have that luxury to go and get a software. You know, there are a lot of dashboard that you can come up with that this AI can help you with. You just plug and play, right? And it's very smooth. It can help you.
So you go to AI or Claude, ChatGPT or any of them, and you type in the prompt.
Exactly.
They're looking for
a dashboard that can help you do one or two. You know, I run a business, what's it called? Uber business, you know, a few months back, and I didn't want to stress myself. You know, I'm very good in Excel, you know, so I didn't want to stress myself, you know, start, you know, from moving to, I just went to here, please, I want to run an Uber business and I need a dashboard that can help me keep track of my income, the trips, the expenses, keeping track for the salary, the commission I'll be paying the driver. And just within 10 minutes, brought it out. And that's what I was using. The only thing I just do, look at my Uber app, look at the sale, plug it there, you know, and look at my bank account, the amount that came in terms of the, you know, the T-fare, plug it there, and I have my report. On a daily basis. On a daily basis, I have a report on a monthly basis. So these are some advantage that AI has come to offer. So, what's it called? Accounting software. They are also fantastic software. In fact, some accounting software have made some accountants lazy, right? And I've sat down in a lot of interview, asking people rudiments about accounting, debit entry. You know, you see a chartered accountant struggling, see an accountant struggling to have all this foundation. And this is because of this accounting software, because you know that you don't need to think because for example now, in accounting, for every transaction, any transaction, there must be a double posting.
Yes,
there must be two accounting.
Yes, you taught me that.
So asking a candidate that wants a job offer, giving him or her a scenario and give me the accounting, and he's struggling because what? Accounting software just puts the transaction, the accounting software has helped you do the necessary, the accounting posting. So what am I saying in a sense? So software too, they are very, very fantastic. It will make your work easier. It will make your reporting, your tracking, very, very easy. Very, very easy.
Okay. I mean, that's beautiful to know. So, I mean, for people starting a business or you're running a business from a financial perspective, you're struggling and all of that.
Yes, sir.
These are some, you can just go on
AI,
any AI
need
tool.
something exactly.
You can create dashboards that would help you monitor your finances.
Definitely.
Right? And then with whatever you are seeing, then you can begin to make
financial modeling, everything.
Fantastic. Interesting. All right. So the last question I'm going to ask, sir, is the question about regulation, right? And I'm talking about taxes, talking about things that money that belongs to the government. So so from a accounting / or an accounting perspective, I think I should stay with that. What are those critical things that that from a regulatory perspective, business owners should take note of and should make sure that they do, so that they are not found on the wrong side of the law?
Okay. So I think the first thing I will mention is for us having an understanding about the implication of tax, right? I will tell people that want to come into business, even if you're in business, that tax is very legal. It is legal. It is compulsory. So if you are not paying tax,
there's a problem.
I won't say there's a problem. Is that, of course, there's a problem. If you are not paying tax, that means you are doing something illegal. And when being caught, there will be a penalty. All right. So that's first. The second thing is to understand the tax implication that surrounds your little or the small business that you are doing. The business you are doing and the nature of that business that you are doing. Because tax is broad, right? We have different kind of tax. We have VAT, we have withholding, we have PE, we have personal income, we have company income tax, we have capital gain tax, we have a lot of tax. We have a lot that I can fully mention here. But you understanding, that tax that is applicable, that relates to the business you are doing, so that at the end of the day, you are not found wanting, especially when it comes to remittance and filing. So that is very, very important for you as a business owner. And the second thing is that I would love to mention is that this new tax reform has really, on the look of things, right, has really helped SMEs. I think I just need to put down there. It has really helped SMEs in terms of tax relief, right? Or not before now, this new tax reform has helped, especially when you find yourself in this benchmark. Maybe your business, you are within the threshold of revenue of 100 million, if my memory serves me right, and a fixed asset about 250 million. So if you are within that threshold, you are being exempted from tax, paying company income tax, capital gain tax, you are exempted. So I think the major thing is for you to have understanding of the various tax that is applicable to your business, that relates to your business, so that you will not find yourself you are doing something illegal. Because you abstaining, not paying tax, it is very, very illegal. So you have to find yourself doing something illegal. Forget about what is happening.
Everything people
at least do what is required.
So now, speaking to businesses within Nigeria now, so based on the new tax law, so businesses below a threshold of 100 million naira.
Yes.
Is that in revenue?
Revenue. Yes. Okay. Annual revenue.
Annual revenue of 100 million naira.
Yeah.
They are tax exempt.
Yeah, exactly.
But they still have to file.
Exactly.
Which is zero, even if it's zero,
exactly.
They
have to file.
I see. They still have to file and all of that, but they are tax exempt.
Yeah, exactly.
But that also means that your accounting must be good.
Definitely. For
because
you
that
to
is how you can prove that your business is
when your record is intact. And I think this new tax reform has made people, especially for businesses or companies that doesn't keep record. So they have put people in that position to ensure that your record keeping is intact.
I see.
Your reporting is intact.
I see.
Because you need to defend.
Yes.
You know, when you get to that point where maybe what you submitted is not showing the true picture. So you need something to back it up. Okay. So that record keeping, reporting is very, very important.
So what about if a business, year one, they made 150 million. Year two, their revenue dropped to 70 million. Year three, their revenue was 80 million. Then year four, maybe increased to 120 million.
Yeah.
The years that their revenue was below 100, would they pay tax?
So as the law states, annually. So since it's that year, they didn't.
So they were okay. Definitely. I see it. So it's varies. Okay. Makes sense. Wow. So many things to still ask. So many things to still ask.
Yes.
But one thing my team do not like to hear is, I'll still bring you back. Because they say, oh dear, we're going to set up again. But it is what it is. But really, so many things to still ask, sir.
Yes,
and I've learned so much. I mean, there are things I've overlooked. There are things that I might know and even advise people, but knowing it from another perspective has given me more insight. And I'm sure our viewers too would have learned one or two things that can help their accounting and their business, more importantly, run more effectively and efficiently. So thank you so much, sir. Great to have you on the broadcast. And definitely we're going to bring you back to come and delve into some other deeper issues. So you've done 101. Let's go higher. I know you struggle to just keep it very simple for us, right? Because there are some very complex things that we believe will be of help to the people listening to us. So thank you, sir, for joining us.
And thank you for having me. It's a great privilege. I don't take for granted.
Sir. It's a pleasure.
Yes.
It's a pleasure. For those of us who have watched the broadcast today, I'm sure that you've learned a lot of things, right? And you're so grateful. I am grateful to have somebody with this wealth of knowledge on the broadcast today. Well, you will see on the screen our various social media handles, and channel. Click on, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on our social media handles so that you get to hear the things that are happening and the content we are churning out from time to time. Till I see you again on the 1st of July, 2026. Remember that this month rounds off the first half of this year. I believe you must have done significant things in your business. And if you've not, no hope lost. I mean, let's realign, let's reset, and be ready to refire for the last half of 2026. If you need conversations, advice on how to run an effective, retreat that helps you to look at how you fared in the first half of the year, you can get in touch with us. We'll give you advice on how to run it. We'll show you how to facilitate that, and so that you can be in a better position to end 2026 on a high. Until I see you again in the next broadcast, thank you, and keep prospering and doing great things in your business. Take care. Bye.